Hello, guys. Today we are going to start the chapter If I Were You, and this is now by the Douglas James. Now, in this chapter, this is a play about the playwright named Gerard. How he escapes being killed by an intruder who wanted to steal his identity and live peacefully. Gerard befools the intruder, confines him in a cupboard, and finally hands him over to the sergeant or the police. About the characters in the story, they're the Gerard and the intruder, both of them. Gerard is a cultured playwright. He is a cultured playwright and a protagonist of the story. You can say like an actor of the story. He lived alone in a cottage. He didn't meet any people. He was an intelligent person with good sense of humor. He knew how to handle an adverse situation. These last points you can conclude in the whole story, that how, like in the summary also they are saying that Gerard befools and intruder, confines him in the cupboard, and finally hands him over to the surgeon. And intruder was a criminal, villain, jail robber, murderer. So how did Gerard befool him? मतलब इतने अच्छे रॉबर को, इतने क्रिमिनल को उसने बेफूल कर दिया कैसे? ना इंट्रूडर के बारे में कुछ पढ़ते हैं. ही इज़ एन क्रिमिनल एंड ऑल्सो द विलन ऑफ द स्टोरी, एज आई जस्ट said. He was a jewel robber who had also murdered a man and being chased by cops or the police. He now wanted to murder the Gerard and take on his identity to lead peaceful life. He tried his best to frighten Gerard, but he himself got befooled by him. Now, the detailed summary of the chapter is that the intruder's master plan was to kill that he has already killed a policeman, and he was also chased by the police. The intruder had heard a few of things about Gerard, the playwright. So he knew that the Gerard was something like a mystery man. He lived alone in the wild of Essex. The Gerard gave his orders on the phone and never met the street people. He thought that he resembled Gerard in the body. So he planned to kill Gerard and take on his identity and then live himself as Gerard. The intruder enters into the Gerard's house, as you can see in the pic. The intruder entered the Gerard house with a gun in his hand. He found that the Gerard was then preparing to leave the house. He was going to attend a rehearsal, his drama actually. He had prepared his bag in which there were the corpse of the rehearsal. But this thing was not in the mind of the intruder. He knew everything about Gerard, but he don't know that Gerard was an actor. Intruder threatens to shoot Gerard. The intruder threatened Gerard with his revolver. He asked him to question some of his questions. Then he told Gerard that he intended to kill him and then live in his house as Gerard, as he resembled him in the body. The intruder thought that he could live as Gerard in the life of rest of his life. He wanted to learn to imitate Gerard's voice, as he can also imitate Gerard's voice. Now, Gerard's caution to the intruder. The intruder was now about to shoot Gerard. Gerard was a very intelligent guy. He knew to tackle the adverse situation as well. Then Gerard warned him to be careful and not kill him. Gerard warned the intruder to be careful and not kill him. Why? He was having some of the reason behind that. He said that he was a crook too, and that if the intruder stole his identity, even then he would be chased by the police. He had killed someone and the police had evidence against him. He further added that he was carrying false mustaches and other props so that he could disguise himself and hide from the police. In case he killed Gerard, as was sure hanged, in case he killed Gerard, he was sure to be hanged. They would hang himself, not him if not as himself, then as Gerard. What now over here Gerard said that actually Gerard was an actor, so he might be having some false mustaches and then props, vagera, but he just used that false mustache and other props by an example to set in the intruder's mind that Gerard has also killed someone, and the police had evidence against him, and he is just hiding from the police like intruder. So if intruder will kill Gerard, so he would be hanged. But अगर वो चलो हैंग भी नहीं हुआ, चलो इंट्रूडर हैंग नहीं हुआ क्योंकि ही हैज़ टेकन ऑल द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ द गेरार्ड, बट ही वुड अगेन हैंग बिकॉज ऑफ द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ द गेरार्ड, क्योंकि मतलब उसने जस्ट ऐसा सेट कर दिया इंट्रूडर के दिमाग में कि अगर वो इंट्रूडर रहेगा तो तब भी मरेगा, गेरार्ड रहेगा तो तब भी मरेगा. हाउ इंट्रूडर रिएक्ट्स, अब इंट्रूडर को अब थोड़ा लग गया पुलिस का, अरे ये अब सच बोल रहा है ये झूठ बोल रहा है, मैं क्या करूँ जल्दी. अब hearing this, the intruder began to think this was an opportunity to Gerard. Gerard said that he could sense a police raid at that night. He had positioned an accomplice on the road to warn him of the danger. Gerard said that he was going to garage for his car so that he could escape and offered the intruder to come with him. Gerard befooled the intruder. Gerard befooled the intruder to believe him as saying that if the intruder felt that Gerard was lying, he could kill him in the car. As the phone rang, Gerard said that it is the time to leave. Then actually it was a coincidence that suddenly a phone rang. So Gerard then again took this incident as an example to befool the intruder. He said, "Oh, see, my friend has called. We have to go. We have to leave." When the intruder didn't believe Gerard, he asked him to peep out through the door of the Gerards and see the police for himself. Now, actually, the door. Okay, just read at the angle that actually how the from this point what happened that intruder was trapped, and over here we had just read that he was peeping out to the door of the garage and see the police for himself. मतलब ये कहना चाह रहा था, मतलब ये हुआ, लेकिन अभी तो हमने पढ़ा कि ये तो भाई डोर में ऐसे झांक रहा था, तो ट्रैप कैसे हुआ कि उसने उसे पट्टी बांध के. नो, actually the door is also a mystery. Just then Gerard gave him a push. The revolver fell into the intruder's step in the cupboard. So that door was not a door of the house or the door of the window, it was the door of the cupboard. And in that in that hurry, what happened that the intruder was confused. He thought that it is the door of the window or the door of the house. He just peeped out and suddenly the Gerard pushes give him a push into the cupboard. Gerard shut the door in a moment and picked up the revolver. Then he telephoned to the call and the police to arrest the intruder. Now as it is the play, so there are some of the important dialogues of the play, which are: at last a sympathetic audience. This is pegged by Gerard. They can't hang me twice. This is pegged by intruder. They can't hang me twice. ये अब तो पता ही होगा कि अगर मैंने एक पुलिस को मारा है और अगर मैंने एक गेरार्ड को मारा है तो मैं एक ही बार टंगूंगा फांसी पे, मैं 2 बार तो नहीं टंग सकता ना. This is a big surprise. This dialogue is made 2 times in the play. जब पहले Gerard intruder को बोलता है कि yeah, this is your surprise that I am also a mystery man, and that mystery was then in front of the intruder. And then intruder also said to the Gerard that this is your big surprise that when he entered the room. Now how the happy ending? Then in this play also there was a happy ending that the hero, the Gerard, proved witty enough to save his life from the evil-minded intruder, but cunningly making up his plan to distract the villain and trapped him in his house. So guys, thank you for watching this video and the explanation, and please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. We will meet you with a new chapter of a new subject.